Have you ever heard of the story of the man who decided to obey God completely? He assumed that as a result of his conviction and his determination, everything in his life was going to work way more smoothly. And when things went well for him in his life, he said to himself, "This proves that I'm right in the middle of God's will." The problem was, about 2 weeks later, his wife lost her job, and they ran into financial difficulties. The man then concluded, "Apparently, my wife has not been obeying God the way she should have. If she would, we wouldn't be having these problems. She must be out of God's will." It's kind of strange to think how quickly we define the will of God by this measuring stick called comfort. And when we run into obstacles, we're quick to conclude that we and what we're doing are out of God's will. It's easy to use this measuring stick of comfort to question our commitment to God and even God's commitment to us. A friend of mine named Jerry said this: "It's a fallacy to believe when you obey God, your life and your ministry will go smoothly. Being dedicated to God means following Jesus even when things don't turn out the way you had planned." He went on to say this: "Remember, Andrew, the good news advances in disaster and suffering. Never forget that Jesus suffered and died for you." You remember Paul? He was in prison when he wrote to the Philippian church. The pain and suffering he endured during prison didn't get him upset. He knew that God had called him to preach the gospel, and he didn't question that goal just because he was arrested and thrown into a Roman jail. He made the most of the circumstances, and he proclaimed Jesus even to the jailers. Listen to what he said in his letter to the Philippians. He said this: "Dear brothers and sisters, everything that has happened to me here has helped to spread the good news. For everyone here, including the whole palace guard, knows that I am here in chains because of Jesus. And because of him, I am in jail. Most of the believers here have gained confidence and now boldly speak the word of God without fear." You see, Paul's chains, his being in prison, had actually been used of God to move the good news of Jesus forward. Consider your plans and how you had hoped to use your gifting and your callings, perhaps even to serve Jesus. Do you believe that they were from God when they flourished, but now question them when somehow they lead to struggles? I did for a long time. But as my friend Jerry said to me, don't be fooled into thinking that life will be easy if you obey God. God doesn't remove difficulties from you. He uses them for your good and his glory. Listen, I'm glad that you made the time to meet with me again here today. Just because you're walking through dark valleys doesn't mean God is not at work. Be careful not to gauge yourself using the measuring stick of comfort. If you want to talk to someone right now, or if you need something, I just want to let you know I'm available in this time of struggle. Please DM me or send me an email at the address below. And remember this: we really are better together.